Hello everyone and welcome to the Open Pakistan webinar series. The Open Pakistan webinar series is an initiative of the Open Program for Pakistan. These programs provide professional development opportunities for English language teachers and learners from all across Pakistan, including global online courses, massive open online courses, webinar series, and then engaging our alumni into different fruitful activities. This program is fully funded by the Regional English Language Office, RELO, at the US Embassy, Islamabad. Evolution is the local implementing partner in Pakistan. If you wish to stay updated about Relo Pakistan and its opportunities, you can visit www.facebook.com/Relo Pakistan. You can also subscribe to Relo Pakistan YouTube channel. If you wish to stay updated about Open Program for Pakistan, you can visit www.evolution.com.pk/open programs. Today, under the series of 7, we are broadcasting our webinar 7.7, and the topic for our webinar is Promoting Emotional Intelligence in an English Language Classroom. The presenter today we have is Ms. Faiza. Ms. Faiza Sumbal Hoda is a certified Cambridge trainer, consultant, and counselor. She holds numerous certifications in English language teaching and communication skills, mainly from IBA. She is an ETS certified and TEFL from Hunter College of New York. She is currently enrolled in the global online course Professional Development for Teachers Trainer offered by Arizona State University, and she has also attended second Virtual English Language Expo 2022 sponsored by Relo Pakistan. Furthermore, she is highly motivated, experienced, and engaging educational practitioner with more than a decade of experience. Currently, she is running her own online platform by the name Best to Invest in Yourself, which is for the personal and professional development. So this webinar will enable the participants to understand the importance of emotional intelligence, to improve or develop emotional intelligence in teacher, to promote emotional intelligence in students, and last but not the least, to carry out different activities or strategies to teach emotional intelligence in an effective ways. So without any delay, I would like to welcome Ms. Faiza to present our webinar. Over to you, Ms. Faiza.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Rabbish rakhli sadri wa yassir li amri wa khalul uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli rabbi zidni ilma. Assalamu alaikum and hello friends. Hope all of you are doing well. Today I'm going to talk about emotional intelligence in English language classroom. So let's first of all start talking about the emotional intelligence and its concept and its 4 core skills. Now, emotional intelligence, it works on 2 levels, that is personal competence and social competence. In the personal competence, we focus on us, that is, we focus on I, we focus on individual, and in the social competence, we focus on other people. So let's see, the first core skill in personal competence is self-awareness. Now, self-awareness is the foundational skill, and it is a skill which requires us to look inward and to have a lot of self-reflection, because we need to identify and we need to accept our emotions. Now, in this, we have to be very honest and we have to have a clear understanding of our all negative and positive emotions, of our negative and positive strengths and weaknesses. So it's very important that we, number 1, we should identify, and number 2, we should accept all those emotions. Now, if we do not accept them, we cannot, make things better for us. So we need to come out of our comfort zone and we should be able to identify and we should accept our emotions to make things better for us. Second point is self-management. Now, self-management is the ability to use awareness of your emotions to stay flexible and direct your behavior positively. Now, this point is very important, and this is built on self-awareness. What happens here is either you act or you do not act. I would like to take an example of a person who is short-tempered. Now that person who is short temper, first of all, he or she needs to identify that emotion. Then he or she needs to accept that emotion. And then he or she needs to, overcome that emotion, should have self-control and do not let that emotion overtake him or her. And then only that person would be able to get bigger benefits. Now, here are the two challenges which I would like to talk about. Number one is that losing temper happens just within fraction of seconds, and the point of trigger comes very quick. So that person needs to have complete self-control. And number two, in the daily life, he or she then encounters different situations. The ability or the threshold of losing temper is very low. So there are two challenges. That is, number one is, overcoming that emotion again and again. And second challenge is accepting and then overcoming it, in such a way that you work for the bigger benefits. Next, we move on to the social competence, and which focuses on others. Now, here you have empathy and ability to pick up emotions in other people and understand what is going on with them. This is again a foundational skill, and it looks towards other people. The focus is on you, the focus is on other people, the focus is on them, or focus is on they. So you need to observe and listen other people very attentively. You should be able to read their verbal, non-verbal body language. You should be able to pick up their facial expressions, their posture, their tone of voice, and you should be then able to understand what is going on with them. Okay, so last of all, we have relationship management. Relationship management is based on the three previous emotions, that is self-awareness, self-management, and social awareness. If you have these three emotional skills under control, then you get to have good relationship with people. And then we say that a person is emotionally intelligent person. Now let's see how does this work. What happens is that when you are aware of your emotions, when you're able to manage your emotions, then you can, read other people's emotions as well. You communicate well, and you handle conflict in a better way. Then you develop good relationship with other people. And we can say the person is emotionally intelligent. So relationship management is the ability to use awareness of your emotions and others' emotions to manage interaction successfully. So with this, I move on and would like to tell you that where this concept has come from. It was written by Dr. Travis Bradbury and Jean Greaves in their book Emotional Intelligence 2.0, who have, both of them, they have wrote this book. And in a nutshell, they write the emotional intelligence is made up of 4 core skills. That is on the personal competence level and social competence level. What I see is, under what I see, we have self-awareness and social awareness. And under what I do, we have self-management and relationship management. So this is the concept of emotional intelligence. Moving on. Now, getting to know our emotions as teacher. Since this topic is regarding the promoting of emotional intelligence in our students, but first of all, we need to know how our emotions works as teachers. This is very important for us as well. So let's see. Self-awareness. We need to evaluate, examine, accept our strengths and weaknesses. Can I, as a teacher, do that? Can I, as a teacher, accept my strengths and weaknesses? Self-management. Am I able to manage my emotions in a positive way? Or are you, as a teacher, able to manage your emotions in a positive way? Social awareness. Can you pick up emotion in your colleagues, in your friends, in your subordinates, or in your students and understand what is going on with them? Empathy. Are you empathetic? How do you reach out to your students? Can you put yourself in their shoes? Now, this is very important, that are you kind to your students? How do you connect to your students? Can you put yourself in their shoes? For example, if a child doesn't want to work or write anything, can you understand, or can you put yourself in his shoes and, do not, let him be and do not disturb him as such, and, let him carry on with that. If he's sitting or she is sitting quietly, then let him be, because you need to show kindness, you need to show care and respect for your students' feelings. And lastly, we have relationship management based on your awareness of emotions and others' emotions. Do you interact successfully with others? Do you interact successfully with your students? Do you connect with them? And how do you connect with them? Are you, you are connecting in a nice way, with lovingly, with lots of care and lot of respect for your students? Let's see. Let's watch a small clip, which is which needs, you can say, or which can identify some aspects of emotional intelligence in teachers. So let's see and watch.
This is an empty classroom. And this is the teacher. He usually feels happy about his job, but sometimes things go wrong. He feels dissatisfied. Nothing makes sense. This is when emotional intelligence comes into place. But which are the features of emotional intelligence? Decrease occupational stress, improve decision making, increase leadership ability, and improve team performance. There must be a balance between the heart and the mind. But obviously, we are not alone in the classroom. The teacher is at the service of learners. Students may become grumpy or even in secondary education misbehave in a bad way. Which are the tools that the teacher can use to deal with this? Make them enjoy the lesson and make them become involved. Let's review some of the features that emotional intelligence will supply the teacher's improvement. Honesty, adaptability, and innovation. Compromise, optimism, and to be goal-oriented. Empathy, diversity, and service orientation. Conflict management, leadership, and team capabilities. All these abilities will make a teacher's class much more encouraging and rich. A teacher that knows how to overcome difficulties is a winner. There are many types of students, but there are also many types of teachers. Which one are you?
So, I think it's a good question that was asked in this video clip, that there are many types of teachers. Which one are you? We need to have an honest understanding of us as well as teachers, that what type of teacher are we? So let's come to the second part of our presentation, that is promoting emotional intelligence in a classroom. Okay, first point is Be empathetic towards your students. It is very important to be kind towards our students. Very important, because without this kindness and love and care, we cannot connect to our students. Second point, we need to show respect and care about every child and student's feeling. Again, this is the same point as above, but it is a little more than empathy. So we need to show empathy, we need to show respect, we need to show care and love for our students. Do not label students negatively. This again is a very important point. Address them as children or name rather than students. Now, this is a psychological fact that when somebody takes our names, we get connected to that person. So when we, take names of our students or we call them children, it develops a kind of emotional bonding with them, and there is a connection which builds between us. Encourage them to express themselves, talk about feelings, teach about different feelings. So we should encourage them to express themselves, support their individual needs, potential, talents, and interests. Sometimes we observe that in our class, as a teacher, some children are, not in a very communicative mood, or they don't feel like doing any classwork. So I personally believe that we should let them be, and if they are not interested to do anything, then just let them stay like that. And after some time, they would, they might come out and, ask you to, tell them what to do in the class and, express themselves to do something, or, they would really like to participate in the activity. So we should respect and we should, support their individual needs and their talents and interests. Now we come to a very important part, that is to show some activities and strategies for developing emotional intelligence. For this, the number one game or number one thing which I have got with me is the play emotional intelligent games, which is on board or card. Number one is social skills. Number two, mannerism. And I heard your feeling, that is the card games. Now what happens is, when we are, teaching them social skills or mannerism on board game, I have a small suggestion, and that is we can write social skills like communication, like listening, like sharing, like having relationships, having friendships, or taking turn in conversation. We can write them on small pieces of paper, and we can ask them to put those pieces or paste them on big cardboard and, place them in the middle of the class. And then you can talk to, about different kinds of social skills with students. And you can teach them, you can discuss it with them. Number two is mannerism. Same goes for mannerism, you can teach them, again, you can write them on a pieces of paper, and you can make a snake like this, or you can make some other figure on a big cardboard, and you can ask them to paste it, and then you can discuss it. For example, how to greet your grandparents, or how to greet your elders, or when to say thank you, how to say thank you, when to say sorry, how to say excuse me, when to say excuse me. Excuse me. There are a number of manners that we can teach our kids like this. Then we have a card game, which is you can build cards, or you can download from internet as well. And on them you have, feelings written like this, that I heard your feelings. Now you can distribute these cards to them and ask them that they can describe their feelings according to the card which they're having in their hand, So I heard your feelings. If they hold this kind of a card, they can ask the other person that I heard your feelings. So what are you feeling? They can talk about feelings to each other. Next, we have the wonder of words, teaching new vocabulary, feeling words, building a word wall. Now here, what we can do, we can first talk about emotions. We can show them pictures. We can show them different kinds of, posters and different kind of things to them, either from any storybook, or we can, draw them on the board And then we can give them what a person or that cartoon is feeling at that time. We can teach them about one adjective. Number one, we can put that adjective written on a piece of a paper on the word wall, which we can have on one wall of the classroom. Now, there is one more activity which we can do from this is that we can ask them to make a sentence of that word in their copy. So we can develop activity and then another activity and then another activity. So there are activities, 3-4 types of activities which we can do in the classroom with them. Next, we have read books that teach moral stories like kindness, empathy, grief, honesty, anger management, and more. Now, story time is liked by all kids of every age, I think. Everybody likes story time. So we can read stories to them which have moral with it. Like here, I have the lion and the mouse, and at the end you can see moral is small acts of kindness will be rewarded gratefully. So we can read such stories, or we can select such stories that which have moral at the end. That also teaches good social skills to kids. Then we have group work or pair work in the class. This is, I believe this is a very energetic and a very strong activity to do in the classroom. Here I've taken the good things to talk about. Now, I have taken good things to talk about. As a teacher, you can select whatever you want to talk in the class, and you can make them sit in pairs, or you can make them sit in groups and to talk about one thing. One good thing in my life is, a good thing about myself is, something good that happened is one thing, good thing I'm looking forward to it. Now you can manipulate, or you can change this activity as you want to, as required, as your class level. Either it's a very younger class, or either it's a secondary class, or there are older kids, you can manipulate it as you require. Then teach social skills through role play. Now, role play again is a very energetic and a very positive activity in which we let them act as different characters of the story. Now, this story could be any story from their syllabus, or you can get a library book, or anything which you can, get it from, outside material you can also get for your kids or for your class, and ask how they feel, how the other character feels, and teach them different social skills. Now here you can, ask kids to, play certain roles or the characters of the story, and ask them how they feel and how the other character feels. And then you talk about different social skills in a group activity, in a pair activity, or in a general, as a general discussion in the class. One more important activity, which is, I think, very, very inspirational for kids, is showing inspirational videos.
Hi friends, welcome to another social emotional learning video from Milemarks. Today we will be learning all about empathy. In this video you will learn these 3 things. 1. What is empathy? 2. Why is empathy important? And 3. How can you practice empathy with others? Ready? Let's get started. So what exactly is empathy? Empathy is when you are able to understand how someone else might be thinking or feeling about a situation. Some people say empathy is like putting yourself in their shoes and trying your best to imagine what they might be going through. Empathy is not about what you would do if you were them or how you are feeling. It's all about the other person. Why is empathy so important? Empathy is important because it helps you know how to best respond to other people. When you have an idea of how someone is feeling, you have a better chance of knowing what to do or say to them that might be helpful. For example, Susie's cat ran away from home last night. Ask yourself, how do you think she might be feeling? Put yourself in her shoes for just a minute. Imagine if you were Susie and you had a cat that you loved and played with every day. Imagine if one day the cat was gone and you didn't know if it was ever coming back. How would that feel? Probably not great. If you were Susie, you'd likely be feeling sad, heartbroken, and very worried. Since you took the time to try to understand what Susie might be feeling, now you can better respond to her and connect with her in a way that is helpful. You could say something such as, "I know how much you love your cat. You must be feeling really sad." Or you could do something nice for Susie, like offer to help put up posters around the neighborhood. Empathy is not only about figuring out how someone is feeling, but also caring enough to do something about it. Practicing empathy makes you a more caring person and a better friend. It brings you closer to people because they feel that you truly understand what they're going through. Empathy works with happy feelings too. If your friend is happy because he made the volleyball team, you can use empathy to be excited with him. Even if you don't really like volleyball, you know how much this means to your friend, and you can truly be happy for him. So how can you start practicing empathy with others? Here are 4 things that you can start doing today. 1. Pay attention to other people's feelings. You can watch people's faces and body language to get an idea of how they might be feeling. You can also listen to their words or the tone of their voice to get clues about what they are feeling or thinking. If you're ever unsure, you can always just ask, "How are you feeling right now?" By paying attention to people's feelings, you will have a better idea about how to interact with them. 2. Think before you speak or act. Ask yourself, how do I think my words or actions are going to make this other person feel? If something you're doing is making other people feel sad or upset, you might want to think about changing that behavior. For example, you may know a joke that you think is really funny, but if you can imagine that it may hurt someone's feelings, it may be best not to share it after all. 3. Realize that everyone is different. Just because something is not a big deal to you doesn't mean that it might not be a big deal for someone else. Everyone feels differently about certain situations, and that's okay. Even if you may not feel the same way, you can still be helpful to others by working to understand things from their point of view. 4. Stand up for others. Even if there's a situation that has nothing to do with you, there are still ways for you to be helpful. For example, you might see a kid getting bullied or picked on by the other kids in class. Instead of staying out of it, you can use empathy to imagine how he might be feeling. Then you can do something about it and help stand up to the bullies. By using empathy, you can be a hero for other people. That's all we have for you today. I hope you learned a lot and you found this information helpful. If you did, make sure to subscribe, like, and comment below to let us know. Be sure to also check out our other videos and visit our website at www.milemarks.com for more helpful social-emotional content. Have a great day, friends.
Now we can show many other inspirational videos to them, and they really enjoy and learn from videos like this, So let's move on and let's come to the key benefits of teaching emotional intelligence. Number 1 is it leads to high academic performance. Definitely, kids who are emotionally intelligent have better academic performance. Number 2, it helps to develop strong social skills. We have already, discussed so many social skills in this presentation previously. Next, it leads to better self-control during conflict and stress. Because you teach them social skills, they are better able to manage or have good self-control over stress and during conflict. It leads to regular school attendance. Kids who are, happy in the school, they never want to take off from their schools. And there are few behavioral issues. They are better controlled kids and they have few behavior issues. Next, it develops empathy for people around them. Last but not least, empathy is a very important emotion. And once they are, emotionally intelligent, they are able to they do show kindness towards other people as well. So with this, I come to almost the end of my presentation, and the learning outcomes from today's session is that when there is a friendship, when there is bonding between mind and heart, a person gets good personality, a person is a complete person, and he is an attractive, charismatic personality. Or we can say that emotional intelligence is an essential part of the whole person. Now, in this small diagram, in this small picture, I would say, you can see a tree which is having emotional intelligence roots, which is going deep into the earth, and there is a big green tree which is showing the different characteristics of a personality. Now, these characteristics, if I talk about them, they are decision making, time management, stress tolerance, empathy, teamwork, change tolerance, communication, anger management, assertiveness, social skills, flexibility, trust, and so on and so forth. There are a number of good characteristics or traits which a person develops when he or she has good emotional intelligence. So with this, I would like to share the references for my presentation with you people. And at the end, I want to thank you for your time and for your attention to listen to my presentation. And I hope that I'm able to clear the concept, make you people understand the concept, and give you some tools and tips and activities to promote emotional intelligence in your classrooms. Because I personally believe that teachers are role model, and they play a very significant role in student psyche. And as teachers, it's our responsibility to train their minds and educate them accordingly with emotional intelligence to have balanced and emotional and good life. So with this, I thank you and Allah Hafiz.
Thank you so much, Ms. Faiza, for such a wonderful webinar. If you have any comments, questions, or any suggestions, please feel free to write us on open@evolution.com.pk. Till then, happy teaching and learning. Thank you.